Welcome. I'm glad that we didn't officially start because I don't want to accept that first card that came out. Let's try to get a more positive start of this read. What does Holy Spirit want to come through? Okay, we have here Ancient Echoes. Honor insights gained with experience and hear the truths resonate within you. Timeless wisdom. Okay, we'll see what that's about. Ancient Echoes. Honor insights gained with experience and hear the truths resonate within you. Timeless wisdom. It's like listening to your inner wisdom is what I'm getting from that. You gained a lot of wisdom through experience, so pay attention to that and listen, okay? Ethereal, otherworldly, lofty, at the very least. Okay. Ethereal comes up next. I did see military. We'll make a mental note of that. Military. Kind of the opposite of lofty. If you think about it, military is really buttoned down, routine, rules, by the book. And lofty and ethereal is the opposite. It's pretty much anything goes. Very creative, imaginative, go with the flow. Feels airy, feels loose and free. Oh, we have this. And this was just a design I did without any, so it's kind of like a blank card, a blank space. Okay. Now we have city, metro area. I don't argue with fools. They bring me down to their level and beat me with experience. There's that word again, experience. But in the opposite direction, do you see that? Earlier talked about listening to your inner wisdom versus fools. They have more experience maybe at not being so wise. And you don't want to argue with them because they just bring you down to their level. And then here's that card that wanted to slide out that I didn't want to see earlier, but I'll take it because it's popped like bam right here in front of me. Like, I'm here, you can't ignore me. Evil motives. That's the card. Out of all of these, it wants to be seen. Okay. So we'll put this back. Evil motives. Let's get one for Ancient Echoes and Timeless Wisdom, please. Listening to your inner wisdom. And we have Trump card. Hidden riches and revealing them only to the worthy. Reserved power and using it strategically when needed. So I'm taking this as your trump card, your inner wisdom, using it wisely, not letting everybody know what you know, what you realize. Sometimes you save yourself a lot of grief, you know? If you know something and you have wisdom and you're around people who don't know, it's like you're wasting your energy sometimes. I know we're supposed to be light workers and spread the light and spread it out, but be choiceful, you know, as to when you do that. You have to discern who's really going to listen and who's just going to argue with you. Who wants to just be right? So revealing your riches, your wisdom only when it's necessary, only when it can be used is what I'm taking this to be. Okay, now ethereal and otherworldly, lofty at the very least. Why is ethereal here and otherworldly? Two cards popped out. Okay, no. Oh, three. I'll take them. No, there's a big rejection or a no to something, to gambling. And shredder, so I'll show you, sorry. No came out. Shredder and gambling came out together like a part. So no to gambling and shredding. Notice patterns that suggest it's time to delete unwanted memories. Random thoughts and intense feelings urge you to shred the remnants of the past. Gambling, bets on uncertain outcomes with little control over the result. Dreams of hitting the jackpot, but often ends up with empty pockets. So shredding unwanted patterns from the past, or things that you've been doing or that you have been subjected to, pretty much doing away with that. And gambling, and it's saying no. So no to gambling. Okay, it's saying no to patterns and routines of things that you used to do, situations that you would put yourself in the past. It's saying say no to those, because you're gambling your happiness, your peace of mind, your elevation, your what you would call ascension even. You not gambling your ascension, but what you learn, the person you become, the freedom, the peace, the loftiness. Here we go. That's what I forgot. Thank you, Holy Spirit. That ethereal, otherworldly, lofty way that you have now that's light and free. You're gambling that freedom feeling by being stuck in those old patterns of getting stuck into those same, maybe discussions, disagreements with people when you become, because see, when you ascend and you become wiser, sometimes it's only so much that you can explain to people who have not gone down your journey with certain things. Spirituality, any life lessons, you're wasting your breath trying to convince someone who has no background blueprint or what you've been through. It's just like they're not going to take your word for it sometimes, and you just have to let it go and know that they have to find their own way. That's what I'm getting from this. So don't sacrifice your peace in trying to convince someone of that, of anything. Spread your love, spread your wisdom, spread your knowledge lightly. But once it becomes a tug of war, or I'm right or you're right, then just walk away. That's what I'm getting from that. Now, why are the blank spaces here? Happy endings with a question mark. Feel skeptical of happy endings and distrust fairy tale promises. Believes reality is far from the fairy tale and feels disillusioned. Question the promises that seem too perfect. It would come on the blank of space because I have no idea. My mind is a blank as to why this card shows up. Happy endings. You're questioning happy endings. You're skeptical about happy endings and distrust promises. Really believes reality is far from the fairy tale. Maybe this whole situation has you feeling disheartened, that there can be a sense of anyone that you can really, I want to say level up with, but anyone that you can truly not bond with, but like that really gets you, or it can really meet you where you are. I think that's what it is. Like, okay, you've ascended, you're wise, you've learned all these lessons. Now what? What good is it if you can't even be around others that can get where you are? And that's a soul tribe thing. And that's where you will be led to your soul tribe. That's what we are promised. Once you ascend, that you magnetize and attract like-minded people, like experienced people, and that sort of thing. So it's about being patient, for that happy ending with a question mark. All right, now city metro, that one could be easy. Maybe you live in a city. Maybe you're looking forward to moving to the city. And it has comparison with money. Comparison, maybe you're comparing your chances of making more money if you relocate. City metro. Cities like high life, busy, can be pretty glamorous. That's where you would be when you want more of the trends and more of what's to be part of what's going on. So maybe you're comparing your life to the high life. Maybe that's something that is part of your story. It could be a side note to let you know that this is something for you. Okay, and I don't argue with fools. They bring me down to their level and beat me with experience, because you could never be a fool. Urgent news, unexpected event, breaking news of unexpected disputes and rising tensions, engaged in constant battles and facing relentless opposition. This could be you. You could find that because you are where you are and you know what you know, you're surrounded by, or you come across people that just aren't there. And you find yourself, if you're not completely high priestess mode, keeping your mouth shut, you're inviting an argument. Because if you share what you know, people will oppose you because they're not there yet. If you keep your mouth shut, you feel like you're not even really living amongst others because you're not sharing what you know. So it's pretty much a pickle. And you could be getting into unexpected events. If you do argue with people or try to tell them what you know. So, see, for evil motives. Evil motives is not like, okay, surprise, unexpected arguments with people who just aren't on your level. This is more intentional, wanting to cause chaos, wanting to cause confusion. So now we're talking about something different, and you might need to discern, are you really talking to someone who is innocently debating with you? You know what I mean? Coming from a true place, or is this a character that just wants to cause strife? That's something you might have to come up with. And then here we go, honor. Is the person honorable? In the past, have they been honorable? Are their motives true? Or do they traditionally like to shake things up and cause some problem? You know what to do if that's the case. You have to separate. You have to put space between you and that person. I got one more. Digital detox. I think in this case, it just means detox. Meaning purify your energy, purify your space, be more discerning about your interactions with someone who does want to stir drama up, to contrast and to challenge you, because it's not something that you need. So I'll leave these out here. Tarot. Okay, if you must, if we must. This Ascension stuff is not always a bowl of cream and berries, but it's very necessary. First card out is Wands. Change is in the air. And it's the suit card, like all of the wands. And it's saying change is in the air. Okay, trying to see the small words here on this card. An exciting adventure into the unknown. And that's kind of like your happy endings card with that question mark, unknown. But it's saying here, exciting changes are unknown. So that's what you have. It's an event. See it as an adventure. Okay, somebody's going to fill this space. Someone's going to relate to me. Who am I going to meet and where? Look out for them. Be on the lookout for that energy. Don't let it pass you by. Whenever you go to the store, to the library, to the auto mechanic, whatever, wherever you are traversing, at work, just Keep your mind and your heart open for your tribe, your soul tribe members. Wands. Okay. The Knight of Swords is next. Fast thinking action. The Knight of Swords. Fast thinking. I think this is that quickly something's going to come in. That changes, and there's air. Even though that was a Wands card, it said changes in the air. So maybe you're going to meet an air sign. Maybe you are an air sign. But for this Knight of Swords, fast action, I think, is that you are going to meet people soon. Soon could be within a month. The King of Wands. So it's wands and it's fire and air going on here. There may be fire and air friendship coming up. King of Wands, a natural born leader. Okay. The Seven of Cups. I think this means that you don't know. It's just representing that you don't know what your future is going to hold regarding you and others. Where you're going to meet them, where you're going to see them, and that kind of thing. Four of Tools. That's Four of Swords. More swords. Four of Swords. Maybe relax about it. Be at peace knowing that God's not going to leave you hanging here alone on earth. Of course, you're going to meet people that have ascended or that are more spiritually evolved. It's like 10 cards at once. Let's see. Last card out. Thank you. The Seven of Swords. And it fell right on top of their evil motives and the digital detox or detox from the less honorable people. So it's saying relax, but don't be so quick to have company that you surround yourself with people who don't have good intentions, who want to challenge you for challenge's sake, who want to bring your vibration and your energy down. Be very careful of that. Maybe be in hermit mode. At least your energy is preserved. Your energy is precious. So guard that. Nobody, no company is worth your energy, is what Spirit's saying. Thank you, Spirit, for that message. So let's see. How about a self-care, self-love message? After this, I think it's warranted. Fire, please. Now flying out, no self-care. Okay, thank you. Drink a tall glass of water mindfully. So just like slow down, sip on your water, think of things to be grateful for or moments that you had today that you truly enjoyed or got something out of. Okay. Call or text someone who makes you smile. Call or text someone who makes you smile. And that could be any age. You might have a little niece or nephew. They would be surprised to hear from you. Okay. Light a candle and say a short prayer or affirmation. Okay. And I will say a few names just see who this might resonate with, which names are involved here. Certainly not limited to. Jerry, Jerome, Gerald, Geraldo, Romero. Okay. Florence, Philomena, Vicaria, and Finney, or F name, and Lois, Louise, Louisa, Lola, and Lolita. Let's get one more. Paul, Danny, Michael, Mitch, and William. So those are some names that might be involved. They could be friends of yours, if not your name. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next reading.